any last wishes? He said, yes, my last wish is that you kill all my sons before you kill me. And he said, they said, what do you think? What kind of a father are you? And he said, do what I'm telling you to do. So one by one, they killed all of his sons. And when they got to Hujr bin Adi, this great companion of Ali ibn Abi Talib, the Sahaba of Imam al-Hassan alayhi salam. And here we go, the exposing of Imam al-Hassan the exposing of Muawiyah by Imam al-Hassan alayhi salam. When they went to Hujr bin Adi and they said, why did you want your sons to be killed before you? And they said, and he said what? He said, I wanted to make sure that all of my sons die with the love of Ali ibn Abi Talib before they get killed. And if they saw me, maybe they would say that they want to walk over to the side of Muawiyah. But that wasn't it about Hujr bin Adi. It said one by one, as they were going and killing his sons, he would go and begin to whisper in their ears and say, oh my son, say you love Ali ibn Abi Talib. Don't worry about anything. As they were being beheaded, speak about your love of Ali ibn Abi Talib until it came to this man. And just until recently, maybe in the last 10 or 15 years, it says right above the grave of Hujr bin Adi, and a true tribute to Imam al-Hassan alayhi salam. It says that Hujr bin Adi radiyallahu ta'ala an was killed by Muawiyah ibn Aba Sufyan radiyallahu ta'ala an. That Hujr bin Adi, may God be pleased with him, was killed by the Caliph Muawiyah, may God be pleased with him. How could God be pleased with one who kills another one who God is pleased with? Impossible. But now today, if you were to go and pay your respects to Hujr bin Adi, you won't see that anymore. Instead, you see a big piece of a cloth, or now it's all a big mess of tiles on top. Why? Imam al-Hassan alayhi salam left his legacy, but till today, these individuals, they want to go and they want to oppress Aba Muhammad al-Hassan ibn Ali al-Mujtaba. Why? What happened to Imam al-Hassan alayhi salam? That wasn't it by Muawiyah. It is said that Muawiyah made so many attempts to go ahead and defame Imam al-Hassan in that time. But again, we say every year that we say, Assalamu alayka ya Aba Muhammad, that there are millions of people who go in the Hajj every year, who go to Jannatul Baqi, no matter if there's a grave or if there's not a grave, whether they slap us, whether they beat us, whether they do whatever they have to do, we will still walk into Jannatul Baqi and say, Assalamu alayka ya Imam al-Hassan. No doubt about it. And it is said that after some time, it is said that Muawiyah, he called all of the Muslims to Damascus. He wanted to pay them off some sort of a handout from the government. And it is said by one, all of the Muslims, they would come to get a handout from Muawiyah that he was giving from the public treasury. One by one they would come. And Muawiyah, he asked one of his servants over there, he said that everyone has come to me. Everyone has sent a representative, whoever could not come, except two. There has to be someone missing. And he said, every Muslim has come except for Hassan ibn Ali ibn Abi Talib. So he said, then make sure Imam al-Hassan alayhi salam, he comes. So it is said that after all of the Muslims they came, Imam al-Hassan eventually, after many days, after many weeks, he came toward the court of Muawiyah. And as soon as he walked in, he saw Muawiyah. And Muawiyah told him, oh Hassan, he said that I know that the reason why you're the last Muslim out of all of my subjects to come is because you want to go back and tell everyone how much of a cheapskate that I am. Why? Because you want to go and tell everybody that I gave all of my money away and that there's no more money for you, O Hassan. So Imam al-Hassan says, no, that's not why. So he said that, come, Imam al-Hassan. So Imam al-Hassan entered into the court. He stood next to Muawiyah and said, Muawiyah saved a big, huge bag, big, huge sum of money for Imam al-Hassan alayhi salam, so that he goes back and then he takes it, and in order that Imam al-Hassan alayhi salam, he takes the money of Muawiyah and he was forced to tell everyone that all this large sum of money that he got was from Muawiyah ibn Aba Sufyan. And it said that he went, he took off his slippers, he went to Muawiyah, he took the sum of money, and then he said farewell to Muawiyah, and he began to leave. And it said that that servant, he went and he put the slippers for Imam al-Hassan alayhi salam to wear. It said that Imam al-Hassan, he put those slippers on, and as he was walking away, Muawiyah said, oh, by the way, Hassan, he said, remember that I am the son of Hind. And it is said that Imam al-Hassan, he put on the slippers, this large bag of money, he gave it to the servant, and then that servant turned toward Muawiyah, and he said, oh, Muawiyah, but this is the son of Zahra. That the son of Fatima Zahra alayhi salam, the one with this great honor, the one with this great prestige, this one who is the madloom of his time and the madloom of today, that this Imam al-Hassan alayhi salam, his tragedy was one of the worst, most difficult tragedies from all of the Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam to witness. Why? Because it is said that Imam al-Hassan alayhi salam had to intake that poison that was from Rome. This poison was from Rome. Why? Because it was the most dangerous, the most disgusting, the most despicable, the most hurtful poison one could find, that his entire body from the inside would completely be desecrated once he takes this into his body, once he takes one sip of this. And it is said that Imam al-Hassan alayhi salam, he went and he was forced to take that poison. And it is said a few days later that he began to vomit his own liver. And it is said at this moment, Imam al-Hassan alayhi salam, he was standing next to Imam al-Hussein, and he began to vomit his own liver into a pail. And then he called Aba Abdullah al-Hussein, and Imam al-Hassan said, "Oh Aba Abdullah, go bring me a bigger bowl." And then Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam, he brought Imam al-Hassan a big pail, and Imam al-Hassan alayhi salam began to keep on vomiting everything that was inside. And then after he was calm, Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam, he began to cry at that moment. And then Imam al-Hassan said, "Ya Aba Abdullah, oh my brother, why do you cry?" And he said, "How difficult this is for you." And Imam al-Hassan alayhi salam says, "Imagine, just be patient and wait for your day." And then he told Imam al-Hassan, look at this, Imam al-Hassan alayhi salam told him, he said, "Ya Aba Abdullah," he said, "go bring a cloth so we can cover the pail." So when Sayyidah Zainab alayhi salam, when she enters the room, she doesn't see my liver in this pail because she's going to begin to cry. It is said that Aba Abdullah al-Hussein, he covered that bowl. Sooner or later, Sayyidah Zainab alayhi salam, she entered into the room and she began to cry and cry and cry after she saw Imam al-Hassan alayhi salam in the state. And Imam al-Hassan said, "Oh Sayyidah Zainab, why do you cry? Oh Aba Abdullah, why do you cry? Ya Aba Abdullah, la yawmaka yawmak ya Aba Abdullah. There's going to be no day like your day, oh Aba Abdullah. And Zainab, don't cry, because right now, you cry right now as I'm vomiting my own liver, but sooner or later you're going to be standing on a hill, and Shimr bin al-Jawshan is going to be grabbing the beard of your brother Aba Abdullah, and he's going to have a dagger in his hand. And how are you going to feel at that moment?" But that wasn't it. They took the body of Imam al-Hassan alayhi salam. Imam al-Hussein, he went toward the grave of Rasulullah. He went to the grave of Rasulullah, began to pass and say his last salam to Rasulullah while he was in the grave. What happened with these individuals? al-Mu'minin Aisha, Marwan ibn Hakam, Talha, Zubair, they took arrows and they began shooting at the janazah of Imam al-Hassan alayhi salam. It is said that they shot 70 arrows. It is said that Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam, he went back to his home. He opened up the janazah. He saw the body of Imam al-Hassan and it had 7 arrows pierced through it. Imagine how Sayyidah Zainab, she saw the body of Abu Muhammad Imam al-Hassan with arrows through the body. But imagine on the day of Ashura, when Imam al-Hussein alayhi salam, he had 360 arrows in his body at that last moment. And it is said that at the last moment, right before Hurmala ibn Tahir shot the last arrow at Abu Abdullah al-Hussein, one of the children of Imam al-Hassan, he was 8 years old, Abdullah ibn Hassan, he was standing behind Sayyidah Zainab, and all of a sudden he ran, and Sayyidah Zainab said, "Where are you going?" And he said that, "I see someone going to go and kill my uncle at this last moment." So Abdullah ibn Hassan, he ran as fast as he could, one of the 8-year-old son of Imam al-Hassan, he ran toward Abu Abdullah and those plains of Karbala, and he went and he said, "La'ana Allah alayk yabna kabita." Oh, may God curse you, O son of the wicked man. He was talking to Shimr bin al-Jawshan, and all of a sudden Hurmala ibn Tahir shot an arrow and struck off the arm of this man, struck off the arm of this young boy, and he fell onto the lap of Abu Abdullah, and he began to cry, and he said, "Ya Abu Abdullah, look at what they've done to me, oh my uncle." And he says, "Don't worry, in a few moments you're going to be sitting next to the pool of Kawthar, and your father Abu Muhammad al-Hassan will be feeding you with water." Ala la'natullahi ala al-qawmi al-zalimin. Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un.